The complaints were filed against Bureau of Corrections Chief Gerald Bantag, who has been suspended from his post, prison security officer Ricardo Zulueta, and other prime suspects in the fatal October 3 shooting of Percival Mabasa. The journalist had heavily criticized Bantag and other officials for alleged corruption and other anomalies. Mabasa, who used the station name Percy Lapid, is among the latest media workers to be killed in a Southeast Asian country considered one of the most dangerous for journalists in the world. A joint statement read at a news conference by top justice, interior and police officials said 3 gang leaders locked up in the country's largest prison under Bantag's control were tapped to look for a gunman to kill Mabasa for a 550,000 peso contract. After the murder, the shooter, identified by police as Joel Escorial, surrendered out of fear after government officials offered a reward for his capture. He then publicly identified an inmate, June Villamor, who he said was hired by jailed gang leaders to call him and arrange for Mabasa's assassination. The gang leaders later killed Villamor in prison by suffocating him with a plastic bag, allegedly on orders from Bantag and Zulueta, officials said. Bantag had a clear motive to effect the murders, officials said in the statement. Mabasa was shot dead for his critical revelations against the prison governor, and Villamor was killed by gang leaders in a cover-up after he was publicly identified by the gunman as the inmate who arranged the killing behind bars, they said. Bantag has denied any involvement in the killings. He and Zulueta were also charged with Villamor's murder. No warrants have yet been issued against their arrests, officials said. The investigation into the murders was the unfortunate transformation of a pillar of justice, the correction pillar, into a deep, large-scale and systematic criminal organization, officials said in their statement. This will be the cause of many reforms in government and the strengthening of current mechanisms to ensure that nothing of this nature will happen again, they said. As suspicions grew about Bantag's involvement in the 2 murders, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. ordered him suspended indefinitely and replaced with a former military chief of staff, Gregorio Catapang Jr. There are many crimes that we have to look into, Attorney General Jesus Crispin Remulla said at a news conference. He cited the beer, drugs and other contraband smuggled into prison, and the deaths of 18 jailed drug lords allegedly suffering from coronavirus infection, followed by their cremation over 75 days. Aside from Bantag, Mabasa had also slammed former President Rodrigo Duterte, who oversaw a deadly crackdown on illegal drugs. Duterte ended his tumultuous 6-year tenure in June. Duterte appointed Bantag to head the Bureau of Corrections in 2019 despite pending criminal charges. Bantag was charged in a 2016 clash that killed 10 inmates while he was the warden at another detention center. A court later acquitted him. Media watchdogs have condemned Mabasa's killing, saying the attack underscores how deadly the Philippines remains for journalists. According to the Journalists' Union, almost 200 journalists have been killed in the country since the fall of dictator Ferdinand Marcos in 1986. The group led a protest Tuesday night, urging the government to do more to stop the killings. In 2009, members of a powerful political clan and their allies killed 58 people, including 32 media workers, in an execution attack in southern Maguindanao province that shocked the world. The mass killing, coupled with a political rivalry, has highlighted the dangers journalists face in the Philippines, which is rife with unlicensed guns, private armies controlled by powerful clans and weak law enforcement, particularly in rural areas.